disagree. I think that we do have the opportunity to send a very loud message to the federal government on this issue. I don't have any problem with extending the beds. But let's not wimp out and say no just because of a zoning situation, but take the opportunity to send that message to the federal government, even by passing an ordinance or resolution, excuse me.
More? Yes, sir. 30?
Next question.
Okay, this one is for you, Mr. Moore. On Tuesday, Hernando County increased its tourist tax to 5% to better market itself to visitors. Why do you feel there's reluctance in Pasco County to increase that tourist tax here from its current level of 2%? And would you vote to increase the tourist tax if elected as commissioner?
How are you doing?
Another easy question. Currently, this time I would not vote to increase the tourist tax. We're not a tourist mecca here in Pasco County just yet. There's a lot of great things coming down the pipeline. We have a lot of sports facilities that are being built. We have Sunwest Park that's coming. Eventually, we'll have more hotels. Eventually, we'll be able to put more heads in beds. But right now, let's not put a burden on the hotelers. They're going to have to pass the cost on to the people coming to visit there. Again, at this time, I would not say yes to a hotel tax, an increase in the hotel tax.
Okay, Mr. Robertson?
Actually, I disagree entirely with Mr. Moore on this for a couple of reasons. First of all, tourism is flourishing in Pasco County, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, Ms. McVeigh, back in May, there was an article specifically to that effect on Bay News 9, that indeed we are doing extremely well in tourism, and our tourism tax is significantly below what our competitive market counties are. Now, I'm not in favor of raising taxes typically, but I got to tell you, right now, we're at 2 cents or 2%. We can raise that to 4%, still be competitive to our surrounding counties, and give our tourism department tremendous increase in funds that they will then be able to use to help further tourism development in this county. So indeed, I would support that because indeed, at the end of the day, our tourists are paying it, we're not.
Okay, and Mr. Littlefield?
There has been a long history of this tax, and what it has done is given the commissioners a chance for a lot of false starts, stops, false starts, beginnings, stop. It's been an issue that's been very difficult for them to come together on and to agree, and by giving them a larger pot of money at this time, when there seems to be no cohesiveness when it comes to spending that money, I would be in favor of not elevating that tax at this time.
Mr. Moore, your rebuttal?
Well, I have one agree and one disagree with me, so I guess this goes to Mr. Robertson. Again, we are not there yet. Pasco County is, again, not the tourist place that Orlando is, for example. Obviously, we know that. And again, when you raise the tourism tax, it puts a burden on, not only on the hotelers, but again, it puts a, sorry, it's 15 seconds. To me, it shows people that we're willing to raise taxes. And again, I'm a fiscal conservative. That's a last resort for me, is to raise taxes.
Mr. Robertson, at last week's forum on the east side of Pasco County, you injected the difference in gasoline prices as a topic of inquiry fit for investigation by county commissioners. Do you stand by that position? And also, should any and all areas of price discrepancy within the county be subject to board scrutiny?
No, not necessarily to the second half of your question, but yes, I'll stand by that, and I introduced that thought as a juxtaposition to the topic of a potential 5-cent second local option gas tax. For those of us that have the opportunity to travel from one side of the county to the other, and for those of us that are on this side of the county, I mean, I went past gas stations today that were $3.13 a gallon. If you're over on 301 this evening in Dade City or in Zephyr Hills, you're going to find gas in the 3.40 cents a gallon. My point in bringing that up was that as we're debating about a 5-cent local option gas tax, we've got a bigger spread across the county in terms of what we're being asked or required to pay just for the gas itself. Not to suggest that a 5-cent gas tax isn't a significant issue. It is, and we need to look at that seriously. But I think a bigger issue in the nearer term is the fact that those that are on the other side of the county are already paying significantly more than what that 5-cent tax would add, if indeed it would add at all, to the rest of the county's budget.
Mr. Littlefield, we have strayed into the gas tax.
Is it the gas tax or to the,
You can address,
or the
You
question
can-
that was asked last week? Or the
you can
question-
certainly address the discrepancy between what West Pasco motorists pay and those in the east.
Yeah, I think that what Bob is suggesting here, that maybe the county could get involved in setting prices for gas evenly across the county. I find that almost amusing for the county to be involved in that. I do not at this time support a gas tax, but at the same time, I am not taking it off of the table. I have not been at those negotiating tables, and when I negotiate, I want to do it fairly, and I don't want things being taken off the table before I get there. So if it's a combination between gas tax and ad valorem tax, whatever it takes, we need to get to the place where we can maintain our badly maintained roads in Pasco County.
Mr. Moore, regarding the discrepancy in what folks pay east and west of Pasco.
Yeah, I think in reference to what Mr. Roberts was talking about, that's something that would have to be referred to either Adam Putnam or to Attorney General Pam Bondi if we think there's price gouging when it comes to gas prices in the county. That would not be a county commission issue. As it referring back to the gas tax, I've said this from the beginning, I'm not for the gas tax. I'm not for a 5-cent increase, I'm not for a 1-cent increase, I'm not for a 2-cent increase. I'm not for increasing the gas tax. It's that simple.
Would you care to elaborate, Mr. Robertson?
Well, I'll take 30 seconds.
All right.
Absolutely, I am not suggesting that the county commissioner should be in the business of setting prices. I'm not sure how Ken got that. I hope you didn't get that, but if you did, I want to make that clear. My point was simply this. As we wring our hands and wrestle over whether or not to have a 5-cent increase in tax, my point is that we have such a broader discrepancy in what we're already paying that is probably a more significant issue at the end of the day.